Hello guys, full time at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal 5, F-I-V-E 5, Sheffield United 0. A really comfortable win here for Arsenal against a team who've proven pretty stubborn opponents for other clubs in the Premier League. Although their record is dismal, they often win by quite narrow margins. Not so today, blown away by Arsenal. Eddie Nketiah, the big hero of the day, finished wearing the captain's armband, having taken it over from Bukayo Saka. A hat-trick to his name. He's got to feel on top of the world, and we'll talk about him. We'll talk about him straight away. So, Eddie, look, one of the main qualities any centre-forward can have is timing, right? Eddie's timing today was impeccable because this was a game where Arsenal were without Gabriel Jesus. Picked up an injury in Spain, not in the squad today. It's also a time where I've seen some criticism of Eddie and his form. A lot of people were unhappy with his brief cameo out in Seville, said he didn't work hard enough, didn't do enough off the ball. So for him to come in today and score a hat-trick is fantastic for him, fantastic for Arteta, fantastic for us all, frankly. I think this was always a game for him. Even if Jesus wasn't injured, and we don't know how severe that is, I still have hope he'll be back before too long. He seemed so relaxed after the game about it. It would be a real blow if he was missing for too long, but let's see. But I thought this was a game that would suit Eddie. A game where we were going to have a lot of possession, where we were going to have to try and find that half yard in the box to make the difference. He did exactly that on the opening goal. I thought that was a really lovely goal. Not great defending, admittedly, but a really nice touch and take from Eddie after a good ball from Declan Rice. That's what Eddie's all about. I think because we have Jesus and because Arteta's model likes a centre forward who's maybe a bit more of an all-rounder, I think we talk about Eddie in those terms and say, he's really improved his all-round game. And that's true. That is true. But we shouldn't get away from what he really is. And that is a guy who comes alive in that 18-yard box. I was speaking to Steve Morrow, who was the head of academy recruitment when we took Eddie from Chelsea. That first goal, by the way, Rice into Nketiah, made in Chelsea, so thanks very much for that. Not a great afternoon for them, losing at home to Brentford as well. But I was speaking to Steve Morrow and said, when Eddie was released from Chelsea at 14, what really attracted you to him? What did you really like? And he was like, it was his ability in the box, his improvisation in that penalty box. And as I say, I think it's right to credit him for the improvement he's made to his all-round game. But I think sometimes we forget who he really is and what makes him a Premier League player. The talent, unique talent he had that set him apart from others. And it is what happens in that penalty box. We saw it in the way that first goal was scored. I know he goes on to get the hat-trick with a brilliant goal from outside the box, hugely uncharacteristic. But that's not really what his game is. His game is that kind of poacher aspect, I think. It was a poacher's goal for the second too. A corner came in. Wes Foderingham, I think, would be really disappointed with how he dealt with it. There was a VAR appeal on it, but no chance. I mean, it was just poor goalkeeping. But Eddie was there to pick up the pieces. Good finish into the top corner. Found the top corner again with the third. Like I say, a really special day for him. And if Jesus is going to be out for a length of time, really important. We need another striker. Eddie, I think, is the top scorer in the team this season, maybe jointly with Bukayo Saka. So yeah, a big day for him. I mentioned Declan Rice, who set up the first goal. I thought he played at the base of midfield. It was a heavily rotated team. We saw a lot of changes. Kiwior came in at the back. It was an unusual midfield three. Rice at the base, Smith Rowe to his left, and Kai Havertz to his right. First time we've seen Kai Havertz start in that position.
Let's do this!
Thanks, man. I think, just readjusting my glasses, I think the fact that Arteta was prepared to do that tells you two things. One is that he, I think, felt that Arsenal would be comfortable winners today. Generally, Arteta picks a very strong midfield. The fact he rotated two of those midfield positions, I think, shows how comfortable he was getting into this game. But also, I think it shows how much he trusts Declan Rice to underpin that midfield, to be the anchor, to be the guy to hold it together, essentially. And I think that is Declan Rice's best position on the pitch. He's been playing as the sort of left eight recently. I think that his best position is at the base, number 6. I think he's already superseded what Thomas Partey brings in that position, I have to say. Maybe harsh on Partey because he's been injured recently, so I might not be giving him enough credit. But I think Rice should be playing there for us. Not every game. There are games when it's valuable to have Rice and Partey or Rice and Jorginho, sure. But there are also a lot of games like this where we're going to dominate and where Rice is so good at helping us regain possession, recycle possession, and as he showed on that first goal, can also join in, can join in with the attack, create things. So I like him there. The question then for Arteta is, who is the left 8? We know the right 8 is Martin Odegaard, but who's the best foil to Rice and Odegaard in that left 8 position? I think that's still open to question, and I don't think either Havertz or Smith Rowe really suggested they are the answer today. Hey, it's raining, but I came prepared. So, yeah, that's Declan Rice. I think he's best at the base. I think Arsenal are a better team when he's in that role. How do we accommodate that? How and when do we deploy it? Who do we use with him? That's a big question for Arteta to solve. 4-0, well, changes started being made, and it was a good day for Arsenal in that respect. A good day for Mikel Arteta, who managed to sort of reintegrate a number of players who are at risk of feeling quite disconnected from things. I'm thinking of people like Kiwior, Fabio Vieira, El Neni, guys on the fringes of the team. He didn't rotate his goalkeeper, the one position where he sort of kept everything consistent. I think that's because he felt David Raya needed a game like today, a comfortable game, a game where he didn't make a mistake. And this was that, a very clean game from Raya with very little to do. So maybe that will do wonders for his confidence. We shall see. Aaron Ramsdale almost certain to come in, you'd think, on Wednesday night for the Carabao Cup game against West Ham and stake his own claim. 4-0 came from the penalty spot. Fabio Vieira was brought down. I think the ref felt a bit sorry for Sheffield United, didn't want to give it to them, but it was a clear foul. VAR intervened. I wondered who might take. The fans were chanting for Kai Havertz. Eddie held on to the ball for a long time, but in the end it was Fabio Vieira, straight down the middle. Nice moment for him. And the fifth goal, well look, when they added 10 minutes onto the game, I don't think you would have... Thanks, mate. I don't think there would have been a... There weren't too many in the ground, Arsenal fans or Sheffield United, who thought an extra 10 minutes was necessary. But Arsenal fans will have been delighted they were there because they got to see Takahiro Tomiyasu bundle one in from a corner. Bundle one in's a bit harsh, actually. It was a really nice finish on the turn. I think Eddie would have been happy with that play in the penalty box. But yeah, listen, this was a real stroll. And I'll be honest, there were times in the first half where the atmosphere was a bit flat, the performance was a bit flat. That is kind of inevitable this season, You're going to slightly get that after the Lord Mayor's show effect with the Champions League games, big games against City, big games against United. A home game against Sheffield United might not hold quite the same appeal, especially when we're not really into the thick of the title race yet. And it was a little bit flat, but Eddie Nketiah brought it to life, particularly with that wonderful third goal, and also the ease, the comfort, the stroll nature of it. Listen, Mikel Arteta will take that all day long. He'd like 10 of these a season, right? That's the kind of control he wants to see his side exhibit against a team at the bottom of the table. They absolutely did it today. Congratulations to Eddie Nketiah, hat-trick hero. Lovely win for Arsenal. A very good week, really. To go to Sevilla, I'm on the move now, by the way. To go to Sevilla, we've got a fantastic home record in Europe. To get the win there, to come back here, get 3 points in the Premier League. Very, very nice indeed. I think they'll reflect on that as a very good week, and a tough week to come next week. Away trip to West Ham in the Cup, where we'll rotate, but which will make that challenging, I think. West Ham are a decent Cup team, as they showed in Europe last season. And then Newcastle away. Wow, what a big game that is, St James's. Will Gabriel Jesus be fit again? Will he be available? Does he need to be? If Eddie plays anything like he did today, I think he does. And yeah, we shall see. Will Declan Rice play at West Ham? What sort of reception will he get? That'll be an interesting one. I'll leave it there for now, guys. I'll put the umbrella down so you get one last look at the stadium. All right, guys, take care. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.